Taxi Vlog 370. It is now the 17th of September. Yeah, fall is coming here. We're almost to that equinox, and after the equinox I might not be able to give you any more daylight vlogging for about 6 months. So we might as well take advantage of the daylight while we still have it. The nights are getting cooler, and I have to have the heat on most of the time, and so on and so on and so on. Monday this week came out and it was dead slow. It was pretty slow, and I had a couple of good connections on the way. And what the hell is sirens and crap. Ambulance by the looks and sounds of it. Yep. It's an ambulance. Oh, here he comes. Or is he turning right? Oh, he's turning. Okay. That emergency is over with. So yeah, it was a slow night on Monday, and I managed to get a few lucky connections and pull it together, and it turned out to be a good night. Tuesday, oh my goodness. Tuesday was slow. I did a lot of reading. I watched a lot of YouTube. I had on average about 1 trip an hour. Couple times I had a lucky connection. At the very end of the night, after waiting an hour, I had the people from Wark Street that go downtown to Douglas and Yates. They're kind of regulars of mine. I get them at least, usually about once a week, just before 6, 5:30, 20 to 6 in the morning. And as soon as I dropped them off, I got another call a block away, down the street, to some apartment building or expensive condo being downtown, and a new building. And there was this young woman wearing a onesie coming out of there, a white onesie with little animals on it, or little cartoon characters on it. And I realized that she is the one that I had picked up from a hotel, and she went to the backpackers hostel and she snuck a guy in. So I picked her up turning tricks, and then she was trying to score some drugs at Douglas and Yates, and she ended up not scoring any drugs, but she tipped me handsomely when I got her back to the backpackers hostel. So that was Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday was it was so, slow, quiet. Wednesday again was quiet, but I didn't care. I had my book to read, Lord of Mountains by Steve Sterling. I'm almost finished reading it. It's on my bedside. Now I'm reading John Varley's Golden Globe. Very entertaining so far. I was reading that at home for a while. And then as the night went along and everybody else went home, after midnight I started to make a little bit of money. Then at about 4 o'clock, or was it around 3:30, I got sent to an address in Strawberry Vale neighborhood, and there were big white tents all around the house, and it looked like, what else, an East Indian wedding. And I picked up this one guy and I took him to High Quadra, and for the $16 on the meter I got $20 for my trouble. And then immediately after dropping him off, I got sent to another address up by Halliburton, and that one went down, that one went down a good distance too, but sort of in the opposite direction. And those people were also from the East Indian wedding, so that was another $20. So I made 40 bucks just like that. And then just when I thought there wasn't anything left, it was 5 o'clock, and I got sent to an address where I picked up this guy who was quite drunk, and rather smelled quite drunk. and he was kind of scummy looking. And he wanted to score some drugs. So he took him to where the drugs are commonly kept. And he scored some drugs. And then he wanted to find a woman. But by that time it was after 5 in the morning. It was almost 5:30. And he was looking to get laid. Why am I here, do you ask? I'm at the office, and I came to pick up some paperwork that day shift didn't leave any of in the car. So I'll just finish this little story. And so he was looking for a woman, and we went around, and there were cops all over the place, and there were no girls on the streets. I mean, it's 5:30 in the morning. Usually they go home at, you know, midnight, maybe 3 at the latest. There's still some girls out. But on a Wednesday night at 5:30 in the morning, so Thursday morning, there were no girls anywhere. And we ended up going around the block and asking and looking and asking and looking. I think he scored drugs a second time because he went to talk to the drug people again. So he scored drugs twice, and then he went home, and on the way home he said, oh well, I'll just call a call girl to come in. They cost more, but that's the only option I have left. So I ended up getting like $40 out of him. So in the morning hours, you know, between 3:30 and 5, or 3:30 and 6, when you think it's all dead, and maybe if you're lucky you get a run to the airport, I ended up getting $80 worth of revenue. And that basically doubled my money. So I was very pleased with that. We'll see how Thursday night goes. I haven't really booked on yet. I'm going to book a zone soon as I get that paperwork. And I'll be right. Possible's at the Clipper. Yeah, okay, sure. I'm not going there. I never go there. I don't like special events or traffic or snarls or traffic lights or pedestrians or crosswalks or any of that stuff. I want to be left alone, quiet, relaxed. I'll do my calls. I do the bread and butter calls. I take people where they're going, and that's the end of that. Where was I going? Oh yeah, I'm going to put it right here, whatever happens tonight and tomorrow night, so Thursday and Friday. Until then. It's the beginning of the Friday for me, and it's looking a little bit cloudy out there. A little bit like it's going to rain. See, the trees are only beginning to change color now. Well, what happened on Thursday night? Came out, got a couple of good fares to begin with, and it was a nice start. And some guys were complaining about it being slow and stuff, but you know, sometimes it's slow just for the moment. And between about, I'd say 8 and 11, I went non-stop. It was really good. It's an enjoyable way to get back to the parking lot, watch a couple of videos, and fall asleep for a couple hours. My next call was at 1:30, and 1:30, that means I didn't have a trip for almost 2 hours on a Thursday night. There was a music festival downtown, but I really didn't care. I don't like crowds. I may have mentioned before that special events just are things to avoid, because you get into traffic jams and then you get impatient people in your car, and I needed to sleep anyway. Rest of the night, well, I connected a few times, and at one point I took someone down at James Bay, dropped off there, and came back. And after doing that drop-off, there were people waving downtown, and I had to stop and pick one up. she was one of these impatient people who was complaining how come there aren't enough cabs around, and she was kind of rude, kind of vile, kind of disappointed that her favorite singer only played for half an hour after she paid $75 to get in to the place where he was playing. And she's saying, that's bullshit, that's not a concert. I want my $75 back. Then of course when we got to her $8.25 destination, she did not give me a tip. Yeah. Now, I got back to my part of town and picked up someone else and dropped them off. As soon as I dropped them off, I got sent to a 7-Eleven store and picked up this guy who was looking for his girlfriend, so he wanted to go down the road all the way to his house, which was about a $10 fare from there, and she wasn't at home, so he had to go back to the club where he saw her step out and walk away from the club. So we went to the club. He didn't see anyone there. Let's go back to my place. Anyway, we went to his place about 3 times and made one more tour. He went into the club this time as they were closing, just almost 2 o'clock, and he didn't find her there. So once again, he said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, well, you could call the police or something to find out where she's gone. Turned out, we got back to the house and there she was. $35 on the clock later, he gave me $45 for that one. And that kind of saved my night. The rest of the night I just cleaned up. I had about $300 for a Thursday. Not bad. Now it's Friday, about to start. There is the cab owner's personal car. The cab is not here yet. That's okay, I'm early. I'll wait for him, and then when he gets here, I will go to work. And even though it's cloudy and not too nice out here, I'm really optimistic because I sat under my full spectrum light for half an hour this evening to combat the effects of seasonal affective disorder, because this would depress me if not for that light. Well, I guess I'll get back to you in the morning, let you know how it went. The Friday night of Taxi Vlog 370. Did I get that right? I think my memory's coming back now. See you sooner. Well, it's been a busy Friday night. I got to work at 6:30 because after that little segment that I filmed earlier, I talked with the owner of the cab for about 15 minutes. So I got to work at 6:30, and I got my first call right away, immediately, and I was busy all night long. I did not stop for more than 5 minutes at any time. The most I could do was at one point take a pee or you know, check my blood sugar level. I had to do that a couple times, and at one point I had just picked up a customer and Cindy called me, and I had to go tell her that I'm sorry, I can't talk to you right now, I got a customer, but I'll call you when I get a chance. And when I called her, we talked for less than 5 minutes, and I got another call. And it's just been like that all freaking night long. So I worked it. I worked hard. I had over $400 on, and then about 25 minutes ago I got sent to a hotel, and she went to the airport. So now I'm just leaving the airport. I'm going through this roundabout hell over here. As This is just ugly. And yeah, you know, I had all kinds of people going down to the thing called Rifflandia Music Festival. And there were a lot of kids going downtown, a lot of people running around, going out, partying. A lot of people got pretty drunk. Quite a few of those. There was one woman who waved at me from the side of the road, and she was really in a foul, pissy mood, and she was complaining about having been raped and that she's got blood all over her hands and she doesn't want to talk. And so I started to take her to the address she gave me, and she wanted to just stop for smokes. And then she said something like 98% of men are rapists, and I'm going, oh Jesus. And I said, I thought you didn't want to talk, because at the beginning when she got in the car she said, I don't want to talk about it. I said, okay, fine. But then she started to, you know, talk about it. I am kind of tired now. It's 10 hours since I started, and I have not stopped driving, really. I've not stopped. Going. How far have I gone? 260 kilometers. That's quite sizable for 10 hours. Quite sizable distance. So I just dropped this lady off at the airport. This was my first airport of the week. Yeah, I've done well. I've done really well. I'll be able to get groceries and buy some whiskey. And I'll be able to go and get some more. Well, I'll go out for dinner. And what was Cindy calling me about? She wanted me to help her get the printer working again, because for some reason she's trying to print something out and the printer doesn't work. So it's probably just something stupid like I don't know what. Maybe the printer isn't plugged in, or maybe it needs to be reset because the power went out, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe her computer needs to be stopped and restarted. I don't know. But I'm sure that solving the problem will be fairly easy. So she would want me to meet up with her and fix that thing for her. Yeah. And meanwhile, well, things are going good on my home front. My little apartment is nice and comfortable, and I'm getting into the routine, and what a night I had. Just busy. All kinds of people, all kinds of things. I'm just kind of tired right now, but I'm still energized. The adrenaline is still going. I haven't had a chance to sit in the parking lot and watch videos yet, and now it's 4:21 in the morning. Well, mine's been pretty good, but I still hope yours is better than mine. You won't believe me when I tell you where I am, but I'm going to tell you anyway. After that run to the airport, I went back into town, and I think I went to sleep for about 20 minutes in the parking lot where I usually hang out, and got a call to a regular's house and did that regular fare. I was so tired that, see, what happens is we pick up these two ladies who go to work in the morning, and one of them is usually waiting for the other one outside the apartment building where she lives. And so what I did was I reclined my seat and I told her, wake me up when she comes out. She came out 10 minutes later, and I was even kind enough to pause the meter for them. Anyway, I took those two ladies to work and then went back into the parking lot, and another cabbie came up and started talking to me and said, you look tired, man, you should go home, you should be done with it. Well, I don't know, I was just too lazy to go home. I was too lazy to go take the car and wash it, and I was too lazy. So then I woke up again at about 5 minutes or 15 minutes to 6, and at 10 minutes to 6 I got sent to a hotel, and now it's 6:32 in the morning. I've worked half an hour past the end of my shift because I just dropped someone off at the ferry terminal at the end of the peninsula, which ended up being $70 charge. So I'm over $500 for the night. That was a solid Friday, but oh, how exhausting. I think I'm getting my second win right now, and it's raining like a sumbitch out there. Now I feel like I achieved something, and I can go home and rest. Yeah.